Alright, back for some more Ace Attorney Trilogy. Let us continue with the episode 2 of Justice for All and get to the trial. June 21st, 9:48 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. What? Prosecutor Von Karma? You mean... No, I heard it's his successor this time. Successor? Manfred Von Karma was a really sinister man. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks, also he could win. He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record for 40 long years. Who knows what sort of dirty tricks he used to get each of those guilty verdicts. And now, his successor, I wonder what kind of person they will turn out to be. We're gonna see. It's no good. Mystic Maya! Pearly! You showed up. Thanks for coming all this way. I was really worried about you. Hey, where's your mother? Did you two come together? Mother is watching over the trainees. She said they have training for 2 days straight but no breaks. Huh? Then you came all by yourself? Yep, I snuck out of the manor and followed a map. Don't tell me you walked all the way here. Of course not. I ran. I can't... Oh my. If it takes 2 hours by train... Oh man. I mean, kids are spry. They've got a lot of energy. Hurley, what about the train? Huh? What's a train? I give up. It's time, isn't it? I'm really scared. What if Von Karma tries to do something to me? At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would be nicer to me than Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth? Who's that? He's Nick's rival. Well, he's also a friend. I still remember him as though I'd seen him only yesterday. Every trial was a scorchingly fierce battle until the very end. Oh my god. It's always back and forth with them. Is objection just like the non-flashback word? But when you're rivals for life... Maya, please don't mention that name ever again. Huh? But why, Nick? I'm sorry, Maya. I forgot you don't know. He's gone. He's not coming back. He didn't even give me a kiss goodbye. What? Wait a second. What's that supposed to mean? Court will commence shortly. Please proceed into the courtroom. Let's go. Now's not the time to talk about that anyway. Nick. June 21st, 10 a.m. District Court, Courtroom Number 2. Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. Are the prosecution and defense prepared? What is with this kid? Mr. Wright, are you prepared? Huh? Yes, Your Honor. Why does he always seem mad at me? Oh, yep. Oh, I remember her. Here it comes. Mr. Phoenix Wright. You must be a little shocked because I'm a woman, correct? Hold on. So she's the famed successor to Prosecutor Von Karma? I am Franziska Von Karma, the prodigy. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Revenge? Is this about her father, Manfred Von Karma? Oh, if it's something of a personal nature, I'm sure you can... Oh! I'm talking. If you interrupt again, my whip will do the speaking for me. Please speak with your mouth like a normal person, I beg of you. Yo! Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Prosecutor Von Comma, your opening statement, please.
Those of Von Comma blood have only one fate, and that is perfection. The defendant, Maya Fey, will find no escape from her guilt on my watch.
Very well. What is the defense's position?
Your Honor?
Does the defense wish to enter a plea of not guilty?
Yes. Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams. 10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's right. I'll have you running for the justified self-defense plea in no time. Justified self-defense. A plea usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of themselves. You could very easily make a solid case that it was self-defense, but... The defense stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor. Because to plead justified self-defense is to say you did kill someone. The fucking bow. How foolish. If that's how you want to play it, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I shall now call the first witness. She's just as scary as her father. Like father, like daughter, I suppose. Witness, your name and occupation?
Yes, sir. My name is Dick Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct. Ah!
Get to the point already. Explain to the court the details of this murder.
Yes, sir. If everyone please look at this map. The channeling chamber has no windows, and the door was locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room. What were they doing in there? They were channeling a spirit, sir. Channeling a spirit?
That's quite the look of disbelief there, Your Honor. But you should remember the Misty Fey case.
Ahem. Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were heard coming from inside the room, sir. A few of the witnesses broke down the door and rushed into the room. Oh, that's when they found the victim was already dead, correct? I believe this is one of the most open and shut cases I have ever presided over.
Floor plans added to the court record.
So, how was the victim killed?
I was about to get to that. Stop wasting my time, then. Cause of death.
The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point-blank range. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing.
But where's the knife? That seems like a crucial part we're missing.
So the victim was stabbed before being shot. This is the victim's autopsy report, sir.
Autopsy report added to the court record. After being stabbed in the chest, he was shot in the forehead at point-blank range. Okay. Alright.
The court accepts it into evidence. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness.
I mean, there's not really much I can get out of him. I do want to see if he knows about the knife, because that seems like a very crucial thing to leave out. The murder weapon, Detective Gumshoe. Whose pistol was it?
It was the victim's.
The victim. Now, why would he have... Oh, yeah. Why would he have a pistol? Who cares? The point that you are missing is whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you start.
Fingerprints? There were fingerprints?
Along with the victims, the defendant, Maya Fey's, were also on the grip, sir.
So the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon.
I walked right into her hands there. Point blank, huh? So about how far away is that?
It's anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away.
And how do you know he was shot at point blank range? Mr. Phoenix Wright, I grow tired of the foolish foolery of the foolish fools of this foolish country.
Excuse me?
Gunpowder burn. Gunpowder burn? When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole.
Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire, and that's gets real hot, pal. And there were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead.
Wow, never knew that.
Live and learn, I guess.
Come on, Phoenix, you should know at least that. Stabbed. And what was he stabbed with?
A fruit knife. I see. And whose knife was it? It looks like it belongs to the face, sir. And of course, my face fingerprints all over it. All over it, huh?
Ugh, this does not look good. What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death.
How severe was the wound?
If it had been half an inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand.
His testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him with the intent to kill. Are you sure he was stabbed first, then shot?
Yep, sure as sure can be. One look at the wounds and you come to the same conclusion too, pal.
A fool is a fool who will only listen to the foolish opinions of other foolish fools. A pistol shot to the forehead at point blank is certainly enough to kill instantly. Does it matter, then, which was first? Think a little more before you open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What a pain.
That's enough. We have clearly established how the victim was murdered.
I brought the 2 murder weapons with me today. Why didn't you do that before?
Very well, the court accepts them into evidence.
Pistol added to the court record. Murder weapon was Gray's. 2 shots fired, so we know. Yep, bears Maya and Gray's fingerprints. Knife added to the court record. Murder weapon. A small fruit knife belongs to the Fays. Bears Maya frame. Alright. The date and time of death was June 19th at 3:15 p.m. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this time.
And 2 murder weapons, both with the defendant's fingerprints on them. This does seem like an open and shut case.
Naturally. This is going from bad to worse, as if the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme. Your Honor, feel free to send that little gavel of yours. After all, there is no room left for doubt, is there?
That is quite true. Mr. Wright?
Yes?
Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It's the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose.
See, just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You would change your plea in less than 10 minutes.
What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense? Because now would be the time to do so. This is your final chance.
This is a huge decision. I better think this through all the way. If we plea justified self-defense, we would basically be confessing to murder. After the trial, Maya's life would be ruined, and she'd be labeled a murderer. I can't let that happen. Your Honor?
Have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright?
The defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of a complete acquittal. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Detective!
Yes, sir?
Present the final portion of your testimony, the final strike.
Yes, sir. Now, see here, proceedings are run by... Oh, yes, of course. Go ahead, detective, and give your testimony.
I think the court would like to hear about the other piece of incriminating evidence.
Incriminating evidence. Sorry, pal, but there's even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. So this is the costume. There certainly is evidence of a back spray of blood on this. This piece directly links Maya Fey to the crime, sir. I see. The court accepts this into evidence. Maya's costume added to the court record. All right, Mr. Wright.
Maya's fingerprints on both murder weapons and blood splatters on her clothes. Could this situation get any worse? Ha! What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to sulk off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Please stop calling me by my full name. It's disturbing. Okay. But that does not make any sense. Because considering the fact that he was shot, he has his gun with the fingerprints on it. Nope. No. But he clearly was. Okay. I'm just gonna press everything before I do anything else. Why didn't you say so in your testimony earlier?
You're kinda scary today, you know, pal. Come now, Mr. Wright. There's no need for that kind of attitude in my court. All right, just please stop glaring at me like that.
Dude, you are a fucking pushover. Maya's costume?
Yeah, she was wearing this when we arrested her.
Maya. She was wearing her channeling costume today, too. Is she not allowed to wear anything else? This blood on the costume.
Lab results show that it's the victim's blood. So there is blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes.
Definitely not good. So, were there any other clues that you could glean from this piece of evidence?
Well...
If you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad, not enough time. Let's move on.
Yes, Miss Von Karma is perfectly correct.
Gah, now even the judge is on her side. But if I bite off more than I can chew here, what should I do? Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. There must be something about this costume. I just have to look harder.
Mr. Wright, Miss Von Karma's logic is perfect. There's no way for you to poke a hole in it.
Looks like my time is up. So, about the costume. Your Honor, Actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence.
What? What are you talking about, pal? Where is this problem you are talking about?
I've come this far. There's no turning back now. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here. Oh boy.
Yes, bullet hole.
I asked the court to please take a look at the sleeve of the costume.
The sleeve? There's a tiny hole here. A hole? But that wasn't in the report. Hold on. What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder. Gunpowder? No one ever told me. A hole that smells of gunpowder.
Looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole.
Order! 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 This is a very grave matter. It's best we correct the court record first before anything else.
Maya's costume, updated in the court record.
Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir.
Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding? Fool yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony that just now was a fluke, nothing more. How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight.
Well, I agree it is a mistake on the part of the police. What Prosecutor Von Kama has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then...
No way!
Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony.
Yes, sir. He wasn't fighting back? How do you know if he was or wasn't?
We could find no evidence that the victim put up any sort of struggle, pal. So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstances around this murder changed drastically.
We're in real trouble now. If only I had something to prove that the victim did fight back. Because he did shoot her once, at Von Karma. She thinks she could decide the verdict with this testimony alone. Well, I'll find a critical contradiction somehow, and then I'll have her. Boom! There we go. I was just premature on that part. Detective Dick Gumshoe.
Yes? Having you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling.
You said that my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back.
Yeah, I did.
Then what, may I ask, is the bullet hole you police overlooked supposed to mean? That does not seem grammatically correct.
What does it mean?
I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back?
You're right. Seems you are correct. If the victim had tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything.
Alright, the wind seems to be shifting. Huh. What is with this "are you finished yet" laugh? Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Miss Von Karma?
It seems that my affair was shot at by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea.
That is correct.
But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty.
Now that you... Why, that's right.
Which means the defense is yet to prove anything at all. No!
Well, yes, that's true.
Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense.
Oh, how so?
Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course.
Oh, you mean by myself? Hey, you want me to put together that scenario by myself? Yes, sir. Right away, sir. What transpired? During the channeling, the defendant saw a chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up the opening and the victim's gun and ended it. This scenario you have put together does make sense. Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Wright?
On the surface, it does seem to make sense. However, I won't give up that easily.
Please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now then, your cross-examination, please.
Okay. Let's do it. There's quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Add in body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim.
Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess.
You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix Wright? My affair was in the middle of channeling, was she not? When channeling with the Crane channeling technique, the medium physically changes. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. I don't believe it. She even studied up on the Crane channeling technique. Like I said before, I am perfect.
About what you were talking about, I don't quite get it. Never mind. Let's continue with the testimony.
Jeez. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him.
But if you think about the blood loss, he was probably hurt pretty bad.
How badly hurt would you say he was?
Actually, I went to get blood the other day, and afterward I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness. Sorry.
Where in the world did that pistol come from?
It looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day.
But a handgun?
He got it off the black market about 2 days before the murder.
Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something?
Or someone.
So you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then?
Sorry, pal, but yeah, that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when a shot was fired.
Oh yeah, I'm really glad you weren't hurt. Maya has never fired a gun before in her life.
The victim had already taken off the safety. With the safety off, even an amateur like you can fire it just by pulling the trigger.
Even me? I wonder. Now do you understand? Von Karma's logic is perfect. His testimony certainly makes us look very bad. But there's got to be a contradiction in there somewhere. And uncovering it is going to uncover the truth. I can feel it. Okay, so I've done all the pressing, but I still don't...
Hmm.
But there's not... Okay. Alright. Missing the tiny hole in this costume will be the prosecution's undoing.
Eh? What do you mean?
This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point-blank range. If that were true, then where's the gunpowder burn on this costume?
Gunpowder burn?
This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point-blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole.
Oh!
But there is not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume.
That is a very good point. And what exactly does this mean?
It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other. I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away. Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then, when they were separated, that he fired. How was that? As if that was even possible. According to the testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. Well, then... That's right. The defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then, while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. There, that should satisfy even you.
That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright?
I must be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and sin. Nope. There is a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honor.
Fatal? Flaw? Yo!
Very interesting. I would love to see where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. There has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow, and when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. Maybe it's gotta be the folding screen, right? Because the bullet landed there. This is the piece of evidence that destroys your logic.
What is that? A folding screen?
I would like to point the court's attention to the hole in this folding screen. Ah! It looks like you already know what I'm talking about.
Oh, where? What? Mr. Wright, your explanation, please.
Are these two really that clueless? The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. It passed through her at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means when the shot was fired, Maya, the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground.
Order, order! This changes everything.
Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot, and the bullet hit this folding screen. It hit at this location about 8 inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. She would have to have been behind it. Here.
Behind the folding screen?
The victim and his attacker were fighting, were they not? Then where would the attacker be doing? Then what would the attacker be doing all the way back there? Besides which, if the attacker was behind the folding screen, then how could the victim even know where to shoot? It's obviously impossible. Yeah, I guess so.
Mr. Wright?
Boy, did I just screw up royally. Come on! What's done is done. For now, I should focus on where Maya was at the time of the crime. Okay, but there's no other place she could have been. She was standing here, near the folding screen. Wait a second. We know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole. But how can you gauge the distance from that? Isn't it possible that the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? That's impossible. But why? You, of all people, should know the answer to that question, Miss Von Karma. If she were shot from somewhere closer, there would be gunpowder burns present. However, there is nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume. Ah! Curse you, Mr. Phoenix Wright, you...
I believe it has now been proven that the defendant was standing a ways from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think this has changed the defendant's situation?
Honestly, Your Honor, this changes everything. The prosecution has claimed that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, where and what the defendant was doing at the time...
Squatting all the way by the folding screen?
Exactly. If Maya Fey was the real murderer, why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike?
Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense.
Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason. Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job. Oh. Alright. With this, the rest of the trial should be in the... blast radius of disaster. You are such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix Wright. To think that you've been able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. Ugh, of all things to inherit, why did it have to be that smarmy smile? Detective, how dare you damage my perfect logic?
Huh? How is this all my fault?
You can start by repairing your standing by first removing that 3-strand goatee. Oh, and rest assured your punishment will come later. Something told me he's probably going to be into it.
But punishment? Is that what I think it is?
Is he getting pegged? Well then, Your Honor, I think I've had all I can take of this detective's face. I think it's time to call in the next witness. Next witness? That's gotta be Lotta.
Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness.
Alrighty. First part of the trial done. June 21st, 11:37 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. Whew, that was a close one. I know you were giving it your all to defend me, but I could feel the death penalty hanging in the air. I felt like I was pretty close to dying myself. But you were wonderful out there. You listened carefully, made theories, and tricked everyone into believing you. Thanks. Wait, tricked? That must be the lawyer's secret technique, right? By the way, is the next witness who I think it is? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Lotta Hart. Oh, guess there's no escaping her, huh? Remember, Nick, you promised you'd save me. If you lose, me and my sis's ghost will come after you and haunt you. Your sister? Are you talking about Mystic Mia? Yeah, do you remember her, Pearly? My sister was a super good lawyer. She was also Nick's teacher. Oh, I didn't know that. June 21st, 11:43 a.m. District Court, Courtroom Number 2.
Court will now reconvene. Now, the first order of... Oh!
I don't want to hear it, old man. After I call my witness, sit there quietly and watch like a good little boy.
Yes, sir.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god, she really is a dominatrix. Bring in the photographer who witnessed the channeling. Witness, your name and occupation, if you please. Hey, Phoenix, how you doing? Just fine. Sorry about this. Didn't exactly have a choice, you know. Yowza! Name and occupation. I declare, what in tarnation? Hey, Judge, this here is violence against my fair self.
That's fine.
That's fine? That ain't fine. That's a whip. Yeah. There's no need for foolish outcries from foolishly foolish fools. Just hurry up and testify about what happened on the day of the murder. I haven't even gotten to say my name and job yet. The name's Lotta Hart, paranormal photographer, and I'm here to testify.
Now, let's all be one big happy family. Okay?
Alright, sure thing, Santa. Witness's account. Only the doc and the defendant went into the channeling chamber. We were waiting outside the door, and then bang, we hear this gunshot. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down, and we rushed into the room. Inside there was the dead victim and the defendant waving a pistol around. I swear, other than those two, there was no one else in the room.
And did you take a picture of the scene right after the murder took place?
Reckon, of course. Eh? Excuse me? Phoenix, you were there. You saw her do it. Reckon course. Oh, yeah. It's short for you reckon? Of course I did. Does it look like I care? Just hurry up and show your picture to the court. The moment of truth. What will be in that picture? Let's see here. This here's the picture. That was not how they framed it in the game. They did a terrible job of framing that.
It would certainly seem that only the defendant and victim were in that room.
Lotta's photo added to the court record. Are you ready, Mr. Phoenix Wright? I will clear all doubt about Maya through this cross-examination. Just watch me. So that we were waiting outside, bang gunshot, that's all true. We rushed into the room. Are you sure it was the defendant, Maya Fey? Sure, I'm sure. Lotta seems awfully confident in her testimony. Lotta, please, think back to that day one more time. What you getting at? Remember what you said when we broke into the room? I was murdered. Lotta, at a time like this? Times like this are perfect for snapping up shots. But anyway, what's going on here? This gal, is she Maya? When you saw the murderer at that time, you couldn't even tell if it was Maya Fey or not. Am I correct? Well, you see...
Order, Miss Hart. You are here to present accurate testimony.
Yeah, sorry. Good, this shifts things back to my side. For a defense lawyer, your defense is terribly lacking, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Witness, think back to when those two entered the channeling chamber. When they entered. One of those people that entered the chamber was Maya Fey, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was Maya that went in.
Looks like we've come to a collective conclusion. The person in this picture is most certainly Maya Fey.
Exactly. Rats. And I'm trapped like one. Again. Was it really a gunshot? Are you insane? You must have heard it as well. Ugh. Why don't you testify for the court, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Was it really a gunshot?
Yes. I think it was something that sounded like a gunshot. And why are we here listening to the defense testify?
And the world becomes just a little crueler. I heard a gunshot a long time ago, so I know. And I tell you what, that was a gunshot I heard. Now this is when the story heats up. So let me get this straight. This Mr. Lawyer there, Phoenix, what the fuck are you doing? Honestly, Mr. Phoenix, right? Why don't you tell us what happened then? Yes, Miss Von Karma, I broke down the door. Sorry. Why does this feel like an inquisition? No need to apologize. That was great. You're a real man.
Oh, really? That's something I would like to see.
Judge is smiling rather openly. I'll take that as a good sign. And what did you see once you broke in? Are you absolutely certain of that? Sure am, but that old witch chased us out of the room, so... Old witch? Does she mean Morgan Fay? But there was no one else in there, and you know it. The channeling chamber was very dark, almost pitch black. Was there really no one else in there? What about... What about behind the folding screen? Did you check back there? Rick Given. Huh? What in the... Rick Given, you know, you reckon that's a given. I took me a good look around the room once. Excuse me. There ain't no way anyone was hanging out behind that folding screen.
If I may have a word with you, Miss Hart.
What? You got a problem?
Rick Given. I mean, I'm having a little difficulty in understanding you. If you would stop saying such things as Rick Given and so forth.
Now then, Mr. Phoenix, right? Do you see a problem with the testimony or don't you? Her story adds up. What's worse, I was there at the scene of the crime with her. And her story is exactly how I would have told it too. Was it really only those two that went in? What are you blabbering about? You were there too, were you not? Ugh. Why don't you answer that yourself? Was it really just the two of them? Yes, Dr. Gray and Maya were the only two that went into that room.
Hold on, we can't have the defense testifying against his own client.
Anyway, folks, only the two of them went into the channeling chamber, you hear? Alright, just as I thought. There's nothing wrong with her testimony. I was with her, so I know she's telling the truth.
Enough. It seems that there are no issues with Miss Hart's testimony.
At the time of the crime, only two people were in the channeling chamber. The victim, Dr. Tada Gray, and the defendant, Maya Fay.
The face of the defendant cannot be verified in this picture. However, if we think about the circumstances, it would have to be the defendant.
What am I gonna do? If I just let this go...
What is it, Mr. Wright? You look as if you have something to say.
If I make one wrong move, I'm gonna have the judge against me. Is there anything I can present that would prove it's not Maya in that photo? Your Honor,
Mr. Wright?
It is possible that the person in this photo is not the defendant.
What? Do you know what you are proposing?
Yeah, that's just plain fool's talk. Thanks, guys. Your show of support was just great.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please show the court some proof. Prove to this court that the person in this photo is not Maya Fay.
I don't see any blood with her. That could be it. Here is your proof. Is there a problem? Oh no, I thought I would work on my inflections. Just wondering what an objection with a twist of "you're wrong" sounds like.
Mr. Wright, I am sorry, but I don't follow your logic.
I guess I can't. I guess I don't have anything yet.
Well, Mr. Wright? Nothing, Your Honor.
That's very smart of you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You really should give up trying to prove this is not my affair. I didn't say anything about giving up. I just don't have the right piece of evidence to prove my argument.
That's enough.
Is this it? Is this all I can do?
I think it's quite obvious this court has come to a verdict of not guilty is not possible.
I told you. Totally 100% impossible.
Miss Von Karma, do you have any further questions for this witness?
Having established the defendant's guilt, further questioning won't be needed.
What about the defense? No further questions, I presume?
I couldn't protect Maya. The defense... Phoenix! Phoenix, you can't make that kind of face. A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. But Mia! Oh my god, no! No, this part. Oh! This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. I guess I made it just in time, wouldn't you say? But pearls? Her clothes are a bit... Please. This is wrong on so many levels. Anyway, what are you waiting for, Phoenix? Let's go. But how? She's already taken away every advantage. The advantage is still in your hand. Think carefully, one more time, about what you saw in the channeling chamber. Do you remember what you told me yesterday? Dr. Gray! She took 2 photos. I was murdered. What? Lotta, at a time like this? Times like this are perfect for snapping up shots. See, there is one final piece to this puzzle. Mia? Question Lotta one more time, Phoenix. I don't know if she's doing it unconsciously or on purpose, but she's not testifying truthfully.
Now then, this court would like to end cross-examination period.
Please wait, Your Honor. The defense would like to request that the witness testify one more time.
Overruled. I'm afraid you're too late, Mr. Wright. The cross-examination has already ended. Furthermore, any unrelated...
It's fine. I'll allow another testimony. Von Karma's case is perfect, absolutely flawless. And what better time for this than for you to see that?
But, I have some place I must go after this. All right, I'll allow it. Miss Hart, hurry and give us another testimony.
Well, heck, what am I supposed to talk about? Please tell us what happened when you burst into the channeling chamber. Okay, you got it. See, you got through to the judge somehow, right? Well, actually, it was Von Karma's whip that got through to him. Witness's account, part 2. When we broke into that room, all I could focus on was Maya. I was kind of scared of the dead body, so I didn't take a good look at it. I'm really bad when it comes to blood and ghosts and stuff, but I still managed to point my camera at Maya and take a shot.
Nothing sounds different from before.
Some parts of her testimony were pretty vague. I should press her on those sections. Struggle all you like as you taste the bitterness of your defeat. Well, amuse me with your useless questions, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I am awaiting. Then perhaps that body was not Dr. Gray's at all. Fuck off, Phoenix. Well, I reckon that's possible. If the body inside that room is not that of Dr. Gray, then whose body was it, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Well, what if it was that of my affair after the channeling, or maybe... Ow! Foolish fool spotting foolish foolishness, just as I expect of a foolish fool such as you. If that were the case, then that would mean that my affair is in fact dead. And that would make the defendant's chair quite a lonely place, wouldn't it? Sorry, Maya. Are y'all done here? Can I continue? And even knowing that, you still persist in being a paranormal photographer? That's why I'm getting out of this here business. This gal's gonna get turned on the stars and be a tabloid photographer from now on. She goes through jobs faster than a baby through diapers. Ugh! Mr. Phoenix Wright, would it kill you to stay on topic for a change?
Well, would it, Mr. Wright?
Nice, tag teamed in stereo. Guess I should be grateful it's not in 5.1. Two, right? Two what? 2 shots. You took 2 shots.
But only one has been submitted as evidence.
Miss Hart, where's the other picture you have been withholding? No, you got it all wrong. It's not me. I didn't mean anything bad. I know I can be a little mean, but I ain't evil. Well, at least she knows herself.
Then why have you not shown this other picture to the court yet?
Well, ain't it obvious? That prosecutor woman told me to shut my trap about it. What? Von Karma.
Miss Von Karma, you're hiding the critical evidence?
Unforgivable, Von Karma. Suppressing evidence like this. You're as bad as your father. Your Honor, the defense asks that Prosecutor Von Karma be held in contempt of court.
Well, yes.
Me? In contempt of court? You can't be serious. But you hid evidence from the court on purpose. That's not fair. Phoenix, are you a lawyer or a school child? I was so angry I lost my composure.
Miss Von Karma, would you care to explain yourself to this court?
I thought this picture was not as important, and thus felt no need to submit it. That's all. How could you think the pictures were more or less the same, so why bother with the second? I mean, it's just so much more trouble than it's worth for me to submit this as evidence. More trouble than it's worth? How can you say that? If you want to see it that way badly, I'll submit it. Lotta's photo 2 added to the court record. Aha. But there it is.
What is this picture?
It's obviously the second picture the witness took that day at the scene of the crime. Well, it's a little off-center, but that's what you get with a nervous amateur.
I think the important point here is the person in this picture. This is most definitely not Maya Fey. What is the meaning of this?
This might be the break I was looking for. Now, should I or should I not insist that the picture is not Maya? I think I can. I got an idea for it. Your Honor, as you can clearly see, the person in this picture is not Maya Fey.
Yes, I see that. It's not just her face, her whole body has taken on a different appearance.
There is only one conclusion that can be drawn, then. That somehow this other person snuck in and traded places with the defendant.
Order! Well, yes, I believe that you are correct, Mr. Wright. The person who was inside the channeling chamber was not Maya Fey.
Mia, we did it! You're too soft. Huh? You're softer than Aunt Morgan's strawberry desserts, Phoenix. Take a look at Prosecutor Von Karma's face. She's smiling? I think you had better continue to worry, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Miss Von Karma, what do you mean by that?
Your Honor, I would like for you to take a look at this picture. This was taken yesterday at the detention center's visitor room. This is Mr. Phoenix Wright and the defendant, Maya Fey, during his visit.
Maya Fey? But isn't this a totally different person?
She looks this way because she is obviously in the middle of channeling a spirit.
It's unbelievable that she can...
Yet, it is the truth. When Maya Fey is in that state, she physically changes into the person she's calling. Miss Von Karma, a word if I may. Mia, taking pictures of someone during a private visit is illegal. Surely you must know that the picture can't be submitted as evidence. Obviously, I know this picture is illegal, but I never intended to submit it as evidence in the first place. What is she? From the moment I showed this picture to the court, this case became all mine. After all, this image has now been forever burned into the judge's mind. I don't even have a single witty line. Looks like we've been had.
I don't claim to understand this, and I still cannot believe it. Are you saying that this person is the defendant, Maya Fey?
If I give up here, the trial will end. But if I slip up and say something wrong, it will cost me. Is there any way I can prove that this person in the picture is not Maya?
I can. Your Honor? The fire has returned to your eyes, I see.
This picture. Within this picture lies a critical contradiction to all the testimony up until now.
A contradiction?
So, you think you spotted a problem with this picture? Then earn your keep. Why don't you point out exactly what is so strange in this picture? I tell you one thing, I hate that I have to point directly at her boobuses, but that's where all the blood is. That's where all the blood is. The contradiction lies here.
You don't sound very sure of yourself, Mr. Wright.
Excuse me, can you really tell me how much confidence I have in this? What is with that attitude? That hurt! Didn't we just finish discussing our appearance changing during channeling? I know you ain't no dummy, so don't think you're fooling.
Blah, 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 blah. Shut up.
Phoenix, you have to think before you speak. You can't blurt out. Ugh, even Maya's mad at me now. I have to focus. So... Okay. Oh, hello, cat. Please don't mess with my stuff. Oh, damn it. Hold on. Sorry. My cat did it again. I will be right back. Give me one moment. Okay. Got it fixed. Oh, I should keep telling him to do that, but he always does it anyway. Okay. So, I mean, it has to be the blood, right? Because... Oh, wait. Wait. There's no bullet hole. Please direct your attention here.
To the sleeve? But there isn't anything odd about it.
And that is exactly what is so odd. Something that should be here is suddenly missing. Should be there? Whatever, grammar. There was a bullet hole in the sleeve of the defendant's costume. If that's the case, then it should be in this picture as well.
Ha ha ha! Miss Von Karma, you intended to hide this valuable piece of evidence? You will most certainly be assigned a penalty for this.
Alright, this should do some major damage to our argument. Don't celebrate yet. You like to bring down the mood, don't you? Take a look at Miss Von Karma's face. Ugh, she's got that condescending grin plastered all over her face again. Jumping the gun again, I see. Your Honor, I would like to extend an apology on behalf of those incompetent fools.
What do you mean? And what incompetent fools?
If those fools down at the precinct hadn't missed the bullet hole, I would have gotten a report about it. As I didn't, I could not have known that this picture was of any value to this case.
I see.
She's lying through her teeth, I know it. That woman knew about everything. The bullet hole, the picture, everything. But you can't prove that. So, in addition to being ghost, she also is a mind reader. Great. Francesca Von Karma's idea of a perfect case is quite fascinating, don't you think? Your Honor, you need not worry. If you must assign a penalty, I'll personally make sure that detective gets what's coming. I'm sure there will be a great gnashing of teeth at his next salary discussion. Poor Gumshoe. Bro's gonna be working for little pennies.
In any case, this is a very big problem. When the defendant was taken into custody, her costume had a bullet hole in its sleeve. However, from this photo, it would appear that right after the shooting, there was none.
The judge is confused by this strange twist of events. This is your chance, Phoenix. Load all you've got into this one shot, alright? Got it. Watch this, Maya. Your Honor, there is only one logical explanation for the contradiction. The defendant's sleeve has a bullet hole in it. However, this person clearly does not. There can be only one explanation. The person who shot Dr. Gray was not the defendant, but a different person altogether. What?
Order! 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 If order is not restored, I will suspend this trial.
Oh! Why me? The defense's argument is a complete mess. A complete mess? I fail to see how. Please, enlighten us. Hey, witness! What the heck? Is that any way to ask a gal a favor? Be quiet, you. You were the one who said it was only the two of them when you entered the room. Well, you know, if you were lying, I swear that my whip will be the last thing you'll see. Look, sis, you're looking mighty scary, so why don't we say you... Whoa! I swear, I wasn't lying or nothing. There wasn't anyone else there, honest. You see, now riddle me this, Mr. Phoenix, right? Where did the defendant vanish to? And where did this other woman appear from? Why is it lately all I want to do is cry?
Well, if the person in this picture is not the defendant, then this poses two very big questions. First, where did the defendant vanish to? And second, where did this person come from?
That's right. Now hurry up and answer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Come on, you can't fall apart here at Phoenix Wright. I can't believe that even Mia is calling me by my full name. But, I mean, How am I supposed to prove something like this? Had enough yet, Mr. Phoenix, right? Or do you think you have enough in you to turn things around even now? To turn things around. That's right. Mia would always turn things around and change her perspective. Phoenix? So where did this intruder appear from? And where did Maya disappear to? I need to look at this situation from a different angle. Let's see. What if before we broke in, the third person was already in that room? And what if Maya had left that room somehow? If I could prove that either one of those conditions were true...
Mr. Wright, let's hear what you've come up with.
I think what happened before we forced our way to the channeling chamber is... Your Honor, I would like to present some evidence. I have proof that there was someone else in the room before the murder took place. Please take a good look at this.
Okay.
I've already seen it. Thank you.
And what is the purpose of this item?
Don't you see, Your Honor? I don't think you actually see what you are doing. Oh my god. Okay. So, I don't think I have it yet. I'm sorry, but I simply can't. You see? And the real reason is quite simple, because there is no explanation, that's why.
As I thought. Another big waste of this court's time.
Phoenix, you can't just give up like that. But Mia, rethink things one more time. There has to be an explanation. I'm already perfect, so of course my conclusions are also perfect. Alright, Phoenix, calm down. Let's try this one more time. What if before we broke in, the third person was already in the room? La 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 la.
Mr. Wright, let's hear what you've come up with.
Okay. So... Maya had left the channeling chamber at some point, and the defense can prove this. Oh, how a foolish fool makes a foolish face while dreaming foolishly foolish dreams. Maya Fey was being looked after by her aunt, Morgan Fey. The chances of her leaving the crime scene is lower than the detective's salary.
Anyway, let's see some evidence. Prove that from the murder until the time of the arrest, the defendant had left the room.
The key, right? Miss Hart, do you remember this key? Well, I've seen it. Hey, that's the channeling chamber key, right? Before the channeling started, Maya locked the door from the inside with that. The defendant herself locked the door. Yeah, that's why we all couldn't get the door open. The key's the only one of its kind, after all.
Oh, one of a kind, you say?
Right, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, it looks like she's catching on. I'm afraid to ask, but why is that key currently in your possession?
Oh, what do you mean?
If Maya Fey locked herself in, then that key should have been with her.
Yes, agreed.
However, she did not have the key at this time of her arrest. Well, ain't that a kick? So how come you're holding it? I got this as a present from a certain little girl. That's phrasing, Phoenix. Phrasing. And that little girl was nowhere near the crime scene at this time. That's preposterous. This means that Maya Fey must have left the room. If she had not, then I would not be holding this key you see before you. No!
It seems we have come to an impasse. This picture has clearly captured the face of the murderer. However, is this person the defendant or not? The defense is arguing that this person is not the defendant. Furthermore, as proof, this key has been submitted as evidence. Miss Von Karma?
How can this be?
At this point in time, a verdict on the defendant's guilt is not possible.
My perfect kiss. How was there a flaw in my perfect kiss? Don't think you've won yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I am a prodigy. I have never lost a case. And I don't intend to lose here in this courtroom to a fool like you. I don't care what I have to do. I will get my guilty verdict.
That's enough. If you would like to continue, do so in the lobby. Court will reconvene tomorrow at 10 a.m. That is all. Court is adjourned. June 21st, 1:32 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3.
Wow! That was you, Pearly? You summoned my sis? Yes, I felt I had no choice. Great going, Pearly. I knew you were special. Hey, Nick, did you know?
Yeah, it's not like anyone else in there could have done that.
Nick, I know you're trying really hard and all, but I really don't remember ever leaving that room. And I don't think that a third person could have gone into that room.
Yeah. Well, at least we have until tomorrow to figure things out. Like, what happened in that room, for instance?
Yeah, I'm counting on you. I envy the two of you. Oh, by the way, Nick, do you think you could take Pearly back home for me? Sure.
All right, Pearls, you ready to go buy some tickets?
Huh? A ticket?
Poor thing. So sheltered. Oh, man. Okay, and that is the trial section done. Whew. Ooh. Alright, have to get ready for the next day of investigation, which I will probably get to possibly tomorrow. See you then.